Welcome to Tech Confessions.
Thank you.
So it looks like you're ready to confess some things.
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. So what was your software-defined moment as a technologist? When did you really start thinking more about software than hardware?
In all honesty, it was working with the vSAN stuff.
Oh, wow. So back in the day.
Yeah. Well, that's what vSAN was meant to be. But then when you work in storage, you deal with hard drives, you deal with trays of hard drives and servers and stuff. And all these things you want to do, they have to be done with all that other stuff. There was dependency on cards to do dedupe and all these others, all that stuff. And it wasn't until like working, if you remember with that product, it was when the wheels started turning, and then other things came along from there. So
that's very cool. So what was it about that drew you to it?
It was almost like a mistake, or like I didn't go or worked on that. Knew when it was software defined. We were still trying to software define whatever we were just trying to software define.
Yeah.
The software defined data center was a term.
Yeah.
But the software defined definition behind that, it was not really there. That was just Steve Harrod, who came up with the whole software defined data center thing once. And working with vSAN, and then you just learning what was happening, right? That's when you really see like, oh my God, this really is just a software. There's nothing in particular about these servers that I have that will prevent me from doing what I need to do with this. It's the software. So
Very
that was
cool.
kind of like the moment that I basically embraced it at that point. And there were obviously other innovations and things that happened. NSX came along, the same thing too. But that's when you saw I saw it with vSAN first, but then you see the sort of evolution where like, okay, here's the storage, and then here comes the network, and it just continues to go, you know what I mean? So that's when it hit me.
So I know you have sort of an interesting career path.
Yeah.
What brought you into technology to begin with?
Well, I just felt like people in technology, they need to have a little fun, right? So I kind of jumped into that.
You felt that was a gap?
Lucky for me, they let me in. Okay, they let me in. So, I met a lot of buddies, a lot of, cool friends at VMware all around the industry. They let me in and let me behave. It's fun, yeah.
So, what do you think, looking into the crystal ball, what do you see in the future? You've been in this industry for a good while.
Wow.
What do you see is coming?
Wow, Amy, that's like this confession just got weird.
We've got a plant.
It got real right now.
It's like a real office here.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, honestly, I can tell you right now that it's tough. It's a good one. You got me. You caught me off like my shoes came off in this one. I don't know if it's maybe because of where I'm currently working or what I'm doing or the things that I'm looking at into the future for other stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem of information and growth of data has gone way far beyond the point where we or us humans, we can manage it on our own.
We're almost creating data garbage at this point.
Correct. So the term that's happening in general is mass data fragmentation.
Interesting.
There's just data everywhere, fragmented. You do all this stuff and you can't keep track of it. And the problem now is that with all these regulations, these data sovereignty regulations come along, the world is getting more complicated, boundaries cross lines, and it just becomes really, really complicated to kind of deal with that. So I think now, it's been like this for a while, but I think more than ever I see that there's a focus on maintaining and managing and securing the most valuable asset in the world, which is information.
Yeah.
And to do that effectively, all of these pieces that we do, all these different technologies that we've been conjuring and creating and making everywhere, they now come together to kind of do that, right? So the software-defined storage piece, the network piece, all these other pieces are now becoming together to kind of keep this information safe in a way that it could be done.
Yeah.
Because we just can't keep track of how things grow so much, and all we do is become a risk.
Yeah.
The more we touch it, the more we click, the more we move it, it's a risk, right? So I think now the future will be, the evolution will continue to happen in several areas of technology, but I think more than ever now the goal is going to be to somehow find a way, the most secure way to protect, harness, access, move information in a certain way, right? Where and to be honest with you, it's software driven everywhere, 100%. So.
All right, I like it. We'll have to check back in. I think you're on something there.
Hit me in 20. I'll let you know what's up.
Excellent.
Woo!
And when you're ready to make your tech confession, join us at techconfessionstheshow.com.